Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Trading Hour. We are in the thick of the earnings season, so let's get another corporate conversation going. Mazagon Dock is on our radar on the back of its earnings. It was a good set, and the company's clocked in a revenue growth of 17%, and they've also seen the best gross margins come through in nearly 3 years. By the way, the stock has been on a tear. I mean, for this month, it's absolutely flat. Today, it's up 4%. But if you take a look at the one-year chart of this stock, you'll see it's up 190% over the past 1 year. So to discuss the quarter gone by, as well as the outlook, we're now joined by Mr. Sanjeev Singhal, who's Director of Finance at Mazagon Dock. Mr. Singhal, thank you very much for joining us. This is Pavitra. You know, if I can begin by asking you about your revenues, you've seen good growth come through, and you earlier guided that full year revenues, that is for FY23, will be 7,400 to 7,500. But you know, in the 9 months already, you've already done over 5,700, 5,750 crores, you know, to be precise. So can you tell us, is there any plan to revise this? Do you think you can do more than what you guided for earlier? Because I do know that you have some submarine deliveries to the government also, which are due.
Good morning, everybody. As far as the revenue guidance is concerned, in fact, if you remember, we had already revised our revenue guidance post Q2. In Q1, the revenue guidance was around 15%, which we had revised to 25 to 30% in Q2. We continue to maintain a similar kind of a guidance, 7,400 to 7,500. And this has been mentioned by me earlier also in my discussions with the same channel, that as far as this industry is concerned, we should not be reading too much on a quarter-to-quarter performance. These are very large infrastructure projects which have a very long gestation period and long life, more than 6 to 8 years. So on a quarter-to-quarter basis, any spikes or any variations in the performance should not, a significant meaning need not be attributed. We continue to have a guidance that we should be close to 7,500 as far as FY 22-23 is concerned.
Mr. Singhal, so just to map the future of Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders, can you give us an indication of the kind of deliveries that are planned, how many in the next quarter, thereafter, just the future triggers for the company, how many orders in the pipeline, your conversations that are going on?
If you recall, as far as FY 22-23 is concerned, this has been a very brilliant year all along. Considering the last calendar year, we have had 4 launches and 1 keel laying and 2 deliveries. As far as the plans are concerned, in Q4, we don't plan any delivery. But coming to the next financial year, 23-24, definitely one destroyer is definitely planned sometime end of second quarter or maybe early third quarter, and we are also targeting the delivery of the last of the submarines maybe in the fourth quarter of 23-24. Apart from this, we are targeting certain orders which may materialize maybe next year or a bit longer. That is with respect to P-75I. There are discussions with respect to additional submarines also. And with respect to the next generation destroyer also, we feel is some kind of a firming up with respect to the requirement and with respect to AON that may be happening anytime next financial year.
Okay, so just to get the timeline straight, the 6th submarine you said probably will be delivered in the 4th quarter of the next fiscal, but there's a destroyer that's lined up for delivery earlier. Can you give us some estimate, first half, second half?
We are expecting first half. In case there is a spillover, it may go to the third quarter.
Okay, got that. You're also booking some revenue, looking to book some revenue with the dry docking, ship repairs, etc. of some merchant vessels, is it not, Mr. Singhal? Some sense of, the revenue recognition that you might see there on the merchant side?
As far as merchant vessels are concerned or repair and refits are concerned, this constitutes a small pie, not much of a area of focus. Yes, as far as the repairs of submarines is concerned, that is medium refit and life certification, we are already in advanced stages of discussion for the second submarine. First MRLC, medium refit and life certification of the submarine is likely to be concluded within 23. And within 23, rather early part of 23, we are expecting an order for the second refit and life certification of a submarine.
That's interesting. So in terms of revenue, repairs, whether it's merchant vessels or defense vessels, how much would that contribute? I know it's a much smaller portion of the overall revenue, but how much would that contribute, just to understand the revenue pie, let's say in FY24?
As far as FY24 is concerned, we are expecting a revenue contribution of around close to 5% from the repair and refits business.
All right, got that. So that is on the ship repairing parts. And can you also tell us, about okay, fine. I'll ask you about the budget first, because we do have that tomorrow. Since you do get most of your orders from the Ministry of Government, from the Ministry of Defence right now, all of them precisely. So, can you tell us what are your expectations ahead of the budget right now, to get a broader sense?
There should be a enhanced defense allocation, and that should help everybody, including the players who are into the business like ship repairs and shipbuilding, like MDA.
So, just to get into numbers, what was the budget allocation, or what was the total spend by the government which catered to defense and ships, where you play in, last year, and what could the number look like this time, the growth?
This I would not speculate as far as what would the numbers look like. Last year it was 73,000 crores as far as the defense budget is concerned. And whatever allocations were there with respect to MDL, close to 10,000 crores, we have been able to almost, we expect by 31st of March, we will be close to that number.
Rima, I can just add one snippet, which I was reading a lot of sort of the economic reports ahead of the budget. So typically what history tells us that in the penultimate year to general elections, defense spending goes down and the spending on health, infrastructure, education, it picks up, right? That's what people want to see, and that's what budgets typically in the penultimate year to general elections have done. Whether this year is any different or not, well, we'll have the answers tomorrow. But Mr. Singhal, just to quickly come back to business, margins have been stellar this quarter. I mean, you've gone all the way up to 16%, and our research team tells us that at a gross margin level, I think it's 50%. That's the highest in multiple years for Mazagon Dock. Is this sustainable?
Yeah, no, I would say that as far as the margins are concerned, our margins on nomination orders are pegged. In case there are certain savings on the fixed cost portion, they reflect in a better margin. As far as Q3 is concerned, Q3 we had a delivery, and at the time of delivery, the complete stock of the position is taken. So these are not, I would not project them to be a normal margin, and these are not likely to continue on a quarter-to-quarter basis. This is on account of a delivery when a slightly higher profit has been booked. These would normalize, and we should be posting reasonably good margins, but not of this magnitude or order.
What is that sustainable level, the realistic, sustainable, good level, as you call it?
Yeah.
12%, 11%?
Our margins on the orders are pegged at 7.5% to 8%. There could be some additions on account of cost savings and efficiencies.
Okay, all right, Mr. Singhal, got that. Thank you very much for joining in and giving us a lot of the details on the business. That's Mazagon Dock. The stock has done, of course, exceptionally well. It's one of the most phenomenal movers over the last 1 year. High was closer to 900, I think 914, 915. It's 100 rupees off that, but yeah, there we go. It's one of those high-flying stars of 2022.
Almost 200%, right?
Okay, we'll take a quick break on that note. On the other side, we'll get you more on the markets. But before we do that, here's some exciting news. The most coveted leadership awards are back. CNBC-TV18 honors the visionaries behind outstanding businesses.